Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Another thing we like to do on Mondays is visit with Brian Spitz, and he is with BigStateHomeBuyers.com. Great website, lots of great resources, and one of my favorite things to do is to click the investors page and check out what homes and properties he's got for sale out there. And this week he's brought in someone who's going to coach us through some very important aspects in the acquisition of homes for investment purposes. But before he introduces his guest, Brian, kind of give us a 411 of anything I might have missed on what you do over there at Big State.
Sure. Thanks for having us on. At Big State, what we do is we purchase properties from homeowners directly who want a seamless real estate transaction. We pay cash. We close very quickly. If there are any title issues or if we need to work with you on getting the house cleaned out or tenants moved out, anything that you can think of that might stand in the way of you selling the property on the open market, we take care of all of those things quickly and in-house. So we pay cash, close fast, and then we also work with real estate investors and help them find real estate properties for their own portfolios.
Yeah, very good. And so with that, introduce your guest.
Sure. Today I have David Smitherman, and he's my attorney. He's a real estate attorney here in Houston, and he's going to talk a little bit about things that sellers should know before they enter into a real estate transaction. So thanks for being here, David.
You bet.
Yeah, so real quickly, before you get into that, David, tell us a little bit about your firm. Give us a little bit of background on it.
Well, first of all, thank you, Kevin and Brian, for having me here this morning. I appreciate the opportunity to inform your listeners about what I do and to help them with any kind of issues they may have or questions they may have regarding selling their home. I'm a real estate attorney. I've been an attorney in Texas for about 18 years now, and practicing primarily in real estate for the last 13 years, and helping investors as well as sellers and buyers of property to make sure that they're being properly represented and protected in the transaction.
Yeah, very good. Brian, why don't you start off with your first question?
Sure. So if you were to pick just a couple of basic things that you think a seller should know, what do you think would be the couple things you would tell a seller before they enter into a real estate transaction?
Well, a couple of things I think are really key. First is to make sure that they are surrounding themselves with the people who are going to advise or help them, who know what they're doing and have experience in that. And so make sure that you find someone, if you're going to have an attorney or a real estate broker or an agent, someone who is experienced and has knowledge, in what they're doing. But also, and within that context, to make sure that you're comfortable with who you're going to be using. That's probably the biggest key, I think, is trust your instincts and your intuition. And if you feel comfortable with that person or with that group, I think things are going to go a lot better and a lot smoother. And in the long run, you'll be best represented. But also, you need to make sure that the documents that are being used in the transaction are ones that are really professional, that are accepted within the industry. I always advise my clients to use Texas Real Estate Commission documents wherever they want or whenever they can in the transaction. The contract or any other kind of ancillary documents that go along with that contract for a number of reasons. One is going to lend credibility and give acceptance with whoever you're going to be using on the other side, or with title companies or whomever is going to be working in that transaction. And two, using Texas Real Estate Commission documents, they're worded and drafted in such a way that they're down the middle. They don't favor one side over the other, and they address all the issues that need to be addressed. And it's an organic document in that it's being constantly and continually updated by real estate attorneys and brokers in Texas.
And that's one of the things that, as I said, there was a seller that called me this morning on my way here who I've been working with, and he had 3 firms come out and give a bid on his house. And he really wants to use Big State because we are the only one of the three that presented him with a contract, the Texas Real Estate Commission contract. And also he found that we were the most professional of all the people that made an offer. And that's one of the things at Big State that I really like to promote and that I'm really proud of about our company is we really aim for the highest level of professionalism. So, for people who choose not to work with an agent to sell their property on the open market, this is a place where you're going to get knowledgeable people who use those kind of documents, who use who use title companies to close transactions. And so, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. It's important to use the most official things you can.
Yeah, no question about that. And I think that, one of the things you kind of alluded to, David, and when you were explaining about finding the right person is that I don't think people really recognize how vulnerable they feel like they are when they're talking to people like attorneys and accountants and those type of things. Rapport, relationship, those type of things are really, really crucial. It seems kind of silly and subjective when you're in the process of hiring someone, but they should be pretty major, actually.
Well, certainly. Again, you as the seller are going to be the one in control, and you're going to decide. You're going to make the decisions as to who you want to help you and represent you in the transaction, as well as what the terms are going to be. And it's a major decision. I guess it's been said that the sale of a home is one of the biggest or largest financial decisions the average American will make. And in that case, or in that regard, you need to make sure that you have someone on your side that you're comfortable with and that you can work with, because there's going to be ups and downs in that transaction. There's going to be things that you think, you didn't anticipate. Mm-hmm. And having the proper and professional people on your side is going to make all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to mention BigStateHomeBuyers.com? Also, David, you can learn more about him at DavidSmitherman.com. That's SMITHERMAN.com. With just about a minute left, Brian, why don't you wrap us up here?
Right, and you can also contact me at BigStateHomeBuyers.com if you'd like more information on real estate advice or contact information for David. And that's one of the things that I like to say about Big State is if you visit our website or Kevin's website, you're going to find a lot of information that's useful for you in a real estate transaction. That's not just about, a sales pitch for Big State. We offer a lot of information about how you should conduct a proper real estate transaction, and we invite you to come check us out and read more about what we have to offer and some of the experience we have to share.
Yep, educational, informational, really awesome stuff. I'm telling you, what I like to say is that Brian offers a seamless approach when it comes to investment in real estate. This whole idea of trying to do this part here, that part there, this part there, on the quest to try to get the cheapest deal, you can end up finding it very injurious if you don't know what you're doing. And so what this does is it keeps it very, very seamless and clean. And what's interesting is that some pretty sophisticated long-term investors move away from doing it all themselves to you, because that little extra that they pay along the way is more than paid back in quality.
Absolutely, the service and the just having other people to make sure that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. It's worth the seamless nature of the transaction is worth every bit.
Every bit, and then some. Thanks so much to both of you.
Thank you.
Great topic. All right, when we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to encourage you to stay tuned to it. You're listening to The Price of Business. Make sure you check us out at priceofbusiness.com, where the show continues 24/7.